some spicy things to talk about. So I'm gonna need to drink a little bit of water ahead of time for all this spiciness that's about to happen to my tongue. Now, assuming that you are literate, the first thing you see on my screen is a caption that says Xbox president says the ideal of console exclusives is antiquated. Now, if you're not familiar, let's say English is your second language, or let's just say you're one of those dickheads that didn't pay attention in English class. Antiquated in this context basically means that he thinks the idea of console exclusives is fucking stupid. Phil Spencer is saying console exclusives are stupid and pointless. And we're gonna get to that. Excuse me. But first, let me find the actual quote that he said and read it. Because maybe I'm bugging the fuck out. I'm not, but we're gonna get to that later. In an interview, really? Oh, Sarah Bond said it. Oh, this wasn't Phil Spencer. This was Sarah Bond. Let's see what Big Sarah got to say. In an interview with Mashable, Sarah Bond said, "We're really seeing people evolve way past exclusives when asked about any blockbuster first-party software Xbox has in its future." She went on to highlight how many of the biggest successes in gaming are those like Minecraft and Fortnite, which are available virtually everywhere. And I'm gonna stop you right the fuck there. You know what's the difference between Minecraft and Fortnite? First off, if you're on PC, Fortnite is a console exclusive technically, because you can't play Fortnite through Steam or through GOG or through Luna or through fucking Google Stadia, whatever the fuck it was when it was up. You have to download the Epic Game Store to play Fortnite. So technically, that is a platform exclusive of some way, shape, or form. That's the biggest product of the Epic Game Store. So that's a bad example, number one. Number two, Minecraft is a fucking horrible example because that game was independently developed and was not meant to be tied to a platform by the nature of the game. Now, another thing I also want to mention about this is another reason why this doesn't make sense is because Minecraft was made by a solo developer, not a AAA studio. So the things you have to do when you're making a indie game, because I think a lot of people forget that since this game got brought by Minecraft, that this game was an indie game being made by one person at one point. When you're an indie developer, you have to make it available in as many places as possible so that you can cast the widest net. When you're an indie developer, you have to do that because your fan base, your install base is big OYOGs. Your install base is big zero, none. You don't have an install base. When you are Fortnite and you run the Epic Game Store, you have a huge install base because Epic has been making games for years. A lot of people forget Epic made Gears of War before they made Fortnite. They made Paragon. They made Unreal Tournament. Unreal Tournament got so popular that they made an engine based off of that game that has lived way beyond the game. So those are two terrible examples. Terrible examples. But let's keep going. Which are available virtually. Oh yeah. Another thing I want to mention, because like I don't need to read any more of this quote. Another thing I want to mention. Epic Games, when they made Fortnite, they weren't trying to sell a console. Minecraft wasn't made to sell a console. So the things you as a console manufacturer have to take in mind and keep in mind are different from what an indie developer and people who are making a game that have their own storefront, which again, Fortnite is inarguably a platform exclusive, have to think about. So that argument is null and void. And the reason why I say that argument is null and void is because, oh my God, the Xbox, I know they're shitting in their pants. Oh, I forgot to save the actual article. I know the Xbox are shitting in their pants right now. Actually, no, this is the wrong song. Where is it? Hold on. Actually, hold up. I need to get a different article. Halo campaign evolved. Search. Let me just search Halo on PlayStation. This is what I need. You see this right here? You see what's on my screen? Halo campaign evolved launches on PS5 in 2026. Now, I forgot what publication it was that said this, but today, all the niggas like Charlie Kirk that are in hell are shivering. The motherfuckers, Charlie is down there doing this right now because it is a cold day in hell. GameStop employees that 10 years ago told moms that Halo isn't available on PlayStation, them niggas is throwing CD cases at the floor saying, God damn it, I lied to all them people when I said Microsoft, Xbox will never put a Halo game on PlayStation. It is a very, very cold day in hell right now. That being said, my thoughts on this with all the jokes aside is why Xbox? Because I'm not a fan of the console wars in terms of people insulting each other and saying your game is inferior, you're not a real gamer because you play on such and such platform. But I am a fan of competition. If Xbox was to drop out of the console game, PlayStation and Nintendo would have a duopoly. If you want to play a family game, you gotta go to Nintendo. Because Nintendo, them niggas would rather die than let Mario go to PC. Them niggas will dead ass, they will stop making games and pivot to a different industry and hold the rights of Mario forever and never let anybody sell Mario and just stop being in the games industry before they ever let Mario touch another platform. All right? Nintendo ain't going nowhere though. PlayStation on the other hand, guys, when Xbox was charging for online, what was PlayStation doing on the PS3? Giving you online for free. When they saw how much money Xbox was making off of that, what did they do on the PS4? So PlayStation is a corporation. PlayStation is a company. If there's nothing to keep them in check, guess what they're gonna do? Whatever the fuck they want. And because I love having chances to piss all over Blizzard, we're gonna use Overwatch 2 and Marvel Rivals as an example. For years, for the last 2-3 years, there's been a lot of features that people have been begging Blizzard to put inside of Overwatch. Overwatch, they pretty much said, you niggas gonna stay on the game anyway. We don't give a fuck what you say you want on the game. Marvel Rivals comes out, all of a sudden every feature niggas ask for is just... The motherfuckers rushing to them computers. They over there cracking the whips and sexually assaulting their employees to work on them features to put them shits in the game. Now that they got competition, now that they got somebody that's really coming for their neck, that's really about to hit them in the jugular, they gotta put belt to ass on their game and on their fan base and on their developers to make sure they get out the features that people have been asking for. They really gotta put belt to ass right now. They gotta put belt to ass right now because they have competition. But what happened when they had no competition? They rested on their laurels because where the fuck are you gonna go? You gonna go play Battleborn? You gonna go play Valorant? Most niggas don't even consider Valorant a hero shooter. Get the fuck out of here. Competition is a good thing, always and forever. So you don't want Xbox to drop out of the console race because if they do, nigga, we're cooked. We're cooked. PlayStation is about to charge $9 million for a fucking console. And like, and to be fair, like I already know that there's about to be an Xbox somewhere, because they already did it under my video where I made a joke about having a heart attack, of Xbox having a heart attack, of that Halo is coming to PlayStation. Yes, I understand that this is the old school Halo Combat Evolved. That does not matter. You think Nintendo would put Super Mario Sunshine a what? When did Super Mario Sunshine came out? Uh, 2002. Cause I feel like motherfuckers got this fucked up. Oh wait. So the same time. Wait, hold up. Cause I wanna make sure I'm not using the AI overview. No. You're not gonna give us the panel? Oh, it is in a panel. Either way, I'm gonna pull this up. No, I feel like that's gonna be too small for the TikTok preview. I'll use this. I'll just say this is accurate, because this is accurate. So, wait, let me. And just in case any of you Xbox are saying, well, it's a game from like 20 years ago that we got to play 20 years ago. You think Nintendo would let Super Mario Sunshine, a game that released in 2002, touch a PlayStation? Because Halo was released November 15th, 2001. These games are the same age. These games would be listening to the same music, watching the same cartoons, understanding the same pieces of culture. These games are the same age. These games are the same age. You think Nintendo would ever let Super Mario Sunshine touch a fucking PlayStation? Exactly, nigga. So don't give me that bullshit about, oh, it's a game from XYZ back then. A good game is a good game, whether 20 years or 20 days pass. A good game is good. So if people want to play it, it doesn't matter how long they have to wait to play it. They can. And that's enough about that goddamn topic. On to the update section of the video, because I just want to, because like, I feel like there be too many times where I'll say something that can be easily, I'll say or state a fact that can be easily dispelled, and a dumb motherfucker will come in the comments and say something that like the smallest bit of research can disprove. Because like I'm noticing it more and more, and I'm hearing more and more people talk about it because I'm an adult in adult spaces. But like a lot of people rely on AI to think for them, but they don't even let it think good thoughts for them, so to speak, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Like they use it to think for them, but they don't use it to find out information or cross-check references. Because, all right, let me put it like this. Research is being trivialized by AI for the simple fact that AI does like 10 steps at once. So people who don't understand what it takes to do something are seeing 10 steps done at once, think it's one step. So when they don't have that AI to do those 10 steps for them, they're lost. They don't know how to research something. So what AI does is it gathers a bunch of different resources and it cross-references them with other resources. Then it takes that information and puts it in basically a autocorrect text guesser to make it make sense to your human brain without having to read through 5 web pages and scan and skim for information you want to understand. That's all AI is doing. But all of that I described, most people think of that as one step of ask AI, what does blah, blah, blah mean? And AI does all that shit for you, which is kind of scary, but that's a longer conversation for another time. Former Blizzard president throws shade at Microsoft's "this is an Xbox strategy." Now, I mostly want to see what his quote is. Microsoft first stated it's controversial. Mike Ybarra criticizes. Ybarra, Mike in touch. Allied these exclusives. The ex-Blizzard. The ex-Blizzard president also claimed that only a moron would continue to make consoles when all games were third-party releases. Fuck. I gotta drop a flex bomb for that. Because the main thing I've been saying since the Xbox Series X and S came out was that they have no reason to exist. Because the reason why you need a Nintendo is because that's the only place you can play certain Nintendo games. You're never going to play Zelda on an Xbox. You're never going to play Mario on your phone legally. Outside of like their 1 or 2 apps, you're legally never going to play Mario on a fucking phone. So you have to buy a Nintendo Switch to play those games before they figure out the whole emulator and ROM dumping stuff, which is technically illegal. And you know, if you even speak about this type shit, Nintendo comes to drop the dick on you for just talking about it. They drop the Nintendo dick inside of you. They drop off Nintendo dick and say, yeah, take that. You're fucked. Hold on, I'm adjusting my shoe. So like, to legally play Nintendo games, you're never going to play them outside of a Nintendo console. And PlayStation games, you're going to have to wait a year and change to play them on a non-PlayStation console. So it's like, you have a reason to need those things. You have a reason that you have to have those particular platforms, those particular devices. Currently, there's no software that's encouraging anybody to buy an Xbox, because you couldn't get God of War 2018 for like a year after it released on PC. Ghost of Tsushima, Sushi Ghost took like 2-3 years to release on PC. So it takes a very long time for this stuff to come to other platforms, and it doesn't come to Xbox at all. But when you come to Xbox, you get the worst of all worlds. You can't play any PlayStation games. You can't play any PC games, whether it be old or new, whether it be GOG, Steam, or Epic. And like all the games, Xbox games that are there, while on a console basis, they do run better. Nobody gives a fuck about how good the games run if half the games that exist can't be run on the goddamn system. Because PlayStation is never releasing their shit on an Xbox, because that devalues the PlayStation brand. Again, he's kind of right. Only a moron would do that. What's the point of having Xbox? Like, fiscally, there's no reason Xbox should keep making consoles. There's literally no reason. There's none. Another piece of information, just a fun fact. PlayStation 5 overtakes PS3 in lifetime sales in the US. And the PS5 isn't done yet. There's still a couple more years before the PS6 is supposed to be announced and go through its meter cycles and all that crazy stuff. Excuse me. So it's like, bro, you know why the PlayStation 5 is outselling their former consoles by a lot? You know why they're making bank off of this fucking console? Because they are producing a product with a purpose. I feel like Xbox has gotten to a point to where they're making a product with no reason other than, we've always made it, so why would we stop? No. People are not that type of loyal to Xbox. People do not care about having the best console experience. You know why? Because people who care about having the best console experience, you know what they do? They build a PC or realize they make shitty life decisions. Because people I know that have an Xbox and a PC just be every day walking by their Xbox, mad as fuck, punch in the air like, god damn, I gotta use this shit. Even though I don't have a need for this shit, I gotta use it or I'm gonna feel like I wasted my money. Because if we're going by practicality, if you build a PC, there's literally no reason I ever touch a fucking Xbox. Ooh, I like the interface. same interface as Windows, owned by the same goddamn company, and it has the same design artists and design teams working on both. Or if it isn't the exact same teams, I'm pretty sure there's overlap to make sure that it's consistent with the Microsoft branding. So again, I think Microsoft's biggest mistake is they're making an Xbox. They're making a product with no purpose because they think people are going to be there forever. Like, no. Less and less people are going to buy Xboxes, and if they don't get out the console game, they're going to be forced out of it pretty soon. Is this about AI shit? Oh no, I meant to open this in the next batch of articles. But again, if you are currently watching live, I'm going to end the stream and restart it immediately. So all you have to do is reload your tab. But for those of you watching, if you've watched this long in the video and you haven't dropped your thoughts on a video, like, what are you doing? I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you think. At this point, I don't even care about likes and subscribes. I just want to hear what y'all think. So if you watch this far, tell me what you think about it. And for those of y'all watching,